This week, we talk about new actors coming to the MCU. We talk about new actors who might become Hal Jordan in the DCU. And we talk about a really sad loss from a galaxy far, far away. Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse. Warning.
Red alert.
Ay, 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 ay!
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger!
That's the emergency alert.
This episode is full of spoilers for some of the latest and greatest nerdy movies and shows.
Spoilers.
Listener discretion is advised. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse podcast. I'm Billy Taylor.
And I'm Taylor Oxner.
And this week we're back to talk about all the fun stuff happening out there. But before we jump into it, Taylor, what have you been nerding out about this week, man?
This week, I have been nerding out about playing the Lego Skywalker saga.
Oh, nice.
They redid it, like the whole thing, and so it's like in third person, and you're not like looking down at it.
Okay.
So like, you know how like the old Lego games, it's like you can kind of see everything going on in the screen.
Mm-hmm.
This one's not like that. It's like a third person, like shooter.
Okay. Gotcha.
But it plays just like the regular Lego games do.
Okay. No, that's really cool.
Is
it possible to play it in the other mode?
I don't know. I've not tried.
Okay.
But I will say that it's way different, and I'm playing it from like the beginning. So like the Phantom Menace.
Okay.
I'm not that far into it at all. So like I played the pod race episode, and that was fun.
Oh, cool.
It was like decently difficult.
Yeah.
Like it took me 3 tries, and it's a Lego game.
Yeah. So we recently, and when I say recently, I mean the past couple years, bought the Lego Star Wars, the whole Skywalker saga, and it has, you know, episodes 1 through 3, and then 4 through 6, and then 7 through 9.
Yeah. So there's 2 versions.
Okay.
There's the Skywalker saga or the complete saga.
Okay. Whichever one I have, it's got episodes 1 through 9 on it. But I remember about a month or 2 months ago on the Nintendo store, all the skins, every possible skin update went on sale for like $6. So we went ahead and bought it, and we unlocked all those characters.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, that's a fun one. The boys right now, that's what they're playing through, actually.
Yeah, I picked it up. My friend John has been playing it for like a minute. I don't know if he probably finished it, and he's like going back and doing all like the collectible stuff.
Yep.
And there's a lot of that in this. And you can go to like different planets, and it's wild.
Yeah, and I love once you buy all the skins or whatever, the characters, when you go back to a level, you can be anyone you want to be, even if it doesn't make sense.
Same. Yeah. It's awesome. I've always loved that about the Lego games in general, especially once they got like the Marvel one that has like 250 plus characters. It's ridiculous. And that one, you can be any character, and it doesn't make a lick of sense on some levels at all. But like also some characters, you know, you can only get to certain places or do certain things with certain characters. So you know, to have a vast array of characters works. You know, it's like the Harry Potter game, Lego games. It's like, you know, only Slytherins can do this, or only Ravenclaws can do that. Or if you're a dark wizard, you can do this, and, you know, things of that nature.
Yep. But yeah, that's a really fun game. Like you said, that one, and I think it's Lego Marvel 2, maybe. I think that's the one I really like. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, there are a lot of Lego games out there, and they're underrated as crap, as if I would say so.
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun, even like for someone who's like a gamer.
Yeah. One of them that Oliver recently got was Lego Brawl, which it's basically Super Smash Brothers, but with Lego figures.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. He's got a lot of those games.
Oh, does he like that style?
Yeah, he does. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I do too. They're a lot of fun. I have the DC Villains one too, where it's just you play through as a bunch of different DC villains. And it's not, we're fighting the bad guys. I think the Earth 2 villains took over, like the Ultraman and Owlman and all those guys.
Okay.
And so they've kidnapped the heroes, and the villains have to save Earth. Because as bad as they are, they still want Earth.
Yeah, and don't you can like play as Darkseid, can't you?
I think at a certain point, yeah.
At a certain point, yeah, I remember that game coming out. I never played that one. I did want to. It's just so many games. There's so many games out there.
I know.
And I actually have an announcement on a game later when we talk about the stuff.
Yes. I'm looking forward to a couple games coming out this month myself. There's the Princess Zelda game where you play as Zelda. That one looks super fun.
They did the thing?
They did the thing.
They finally did the thing.
If you watch the trailer, Link is trying to save her from Ganon, and it's in the style of that recent Link's Awakening where they remastered it. And he's trying to save her, and this darkness starts opening up and swallowing things whole, and it gets Link. And so Zelda, he shoots an arrow that pops her out of this crystal she was trapped in right before he's sucked in. And so the whole game, you're Zelda, and you have to save Link. It's the opposite, and it looks really cool.
Huh.
It's called Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and it comes out later this month, and I'm dying to play it.
Echoes of Wisdom. That sounds awesome.
The other game that I'm dying to play is a remake from the Wii. It's called Epic Mickey. Did you ever play that one?
No, I didn't, but I wanted to so bad.
I
had heard it was so fun.
It's one of my top favorite games of all time, honestly, and I'm not much of a gamer, and they're remastering it with updated HD and everything coming out on the Switch also later this month. I'm just going to be swamped with gaming with what little free time I have.
Well, in November, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection is coming out.
Oh, yes.
And it has every single Marvel vs. Capcom game in it. Ooh. It has the Marvel Superheroes game in it. It has the X-Men vs. Capcom game in it. It has Street Fighter vs. Marvel and Street Fighter vs. X-Men and X-Men Children of the Atom all in one game. Plus, the Punisher, Nick Fury, side-scrolling beat-em-up is also going to be included.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that's coming out for every console.
Yeah, I can't wait to play that too. Man, I loved those Marvel vs. Capcom games back in the day.
I know, but like to have those plus to also have that Punisher game too, that's never been... I think they maybe released it like once on the Super Nintendo at one point.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be awesome too.
Yeah. Man, I don't have enough time for all this fun.
I know. And speaking of someone who's having way too much fun right now, did you know that Randy Orton at WWE fame is now the highest paid wrestler at $4 million a year contract?
Man, no, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's like. At the end of your, as you start to age, your body's got to be wearing down a bit. Do you feel like it's worth it?
I mean, he's been doing it for like how long?
Decades.
Like decades at this point, because he was a young kid and his dad did it, and he looks like so completely. He looks more cut now than he's ever looked.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But I think that's also has to do with just like science and like working out.
Yeah.
Whatever they do now comparatively to what they did then.
Yep.
But yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Man, it just hit me. I didn't even say what I was nerding out about this week.
Oh, yeah.
So, this week, and mine kind of rolls into some of our later news as well, but Emily and I went and saw Beetlejuice, and I loved it so much. I expected to like it, but I really loved it. And honestly, I kind of want to see it again. It was hilarious. I don't want to spoil it because listeners might not have seen it, and I know you haven't seen it yet. But gosh, there were some laugh out loud moments multiple times. And of course, they bring in the nostalgia, and I love the Tim Burton stuff, when they'll throw in his weird animation in the mix. And instead of, crazy CGI, he's got all the practical stuff and all the animated stuff thrown in. It was just really good. I loved it a lot.
Their Waxworks Records is releasing a Beetlejuice record.
Okay.
And when you touch it, the goop on it moves.
Ooh, cool.
It's like, have you ever seen those fake axes with the fake blood on them that you can get at around Halloween time, and if you squeeze them, the blood moves around because it's just water in a bag, kind of.
Yep.
That's how those work.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's purple, lime green, and black on a white vinyl.
Yep. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hey, let's kind of jump into the news a little bit. We got another Marvel heavy week. So somewhere out there on the internet, someone has made this really cool video that's kind of gone viral, and I think it's about an hour long, and it's called the 85 most iconic MCU moments. And then someone spliced together an hour worth of these moments, and I watched about 5 minutes of it, and just from the first 5 minutes, I can tell it's a quality video. If you want to go back and just relive those key, gut punch, amazing moments from Marvel, I would definitely look that up.
Okay. Is it all the way caught up to most recent?
I believe so. This video just came out.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it looked really cool, and I'm going to have to find some time to go back and watch it. Maybe one night when I'm in bed, instead of throwing on a show, I'm going to throw that on.
Yeah, and they'd just be blubbering.
Yeah. Man, I can't see that Avengers Assemble moment from Endgame when Cap's back and the portal's open. I still can't see it without getting goosebumps.
Yeah, I still, if I'm like actively watching it, I choke up. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, it's still so like, the emotional weight of this is way too much for me to handle.
It's one of those things where I think back on the past nearly 40 years of what are some movies that I wish I could see again for the first time, and that's definitely one of them.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think.
Yeah. I've ever told you, like, when we went to go see it in theaters, there was this kid, he must have been like 15, but he was sobbing. Like, and it was like one of those dodgeball, like, Bernice moments where he's like, like, it was like so funny. And like, these are the reasons why I can't go to these movies on opening nights, right? Like, because of that. I was so just like, I wanted to give the kid a hug. Like, I was just like, it's all right, man, they won. Like,
it's cool, man, it's cool, we won.
It's all good, man, everybody came back. But yeah,
and he's like, not Black Widow. Yeah. Speaking of trailers, later this week, we're going to get the final trailer for Venom: The Last Dance. As of you guys listening to this, it's probably out by now, but it's supposed to come out Thursday. And if you're excited about that movie's coming out in about a month or so, so we're getting close.
What?
I think so.
Look that up.
Let me see.
That's not right.
Venom: The Last Dance.
Like, you're not known to be wrong.
No, next month. Yeah, it's coming out next month.
What?
Yeah.
There's been, like, no promo for this movie at all.
I know.
I think I've seen that one trailer.
Yeah, I know. I remember a teaser and then that one trailer, but it sounds like we're getting one more final cut of the trailer this week. And then before you know it, the movie's here next month.
Okay. I mean, I'm not, like, cool. Like, a Venom movie. I hate those movies, so, like, I'm fairly excited to go see it, that one.
Yeah.
But that trailer looked just abysmal. Isn't that what we thought? We were like, okay, it's another symbiote fighting a symbiote movie.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of like how we felt about it.
Yeah, it's coming, man.
Yeah, like I said, it's just like, I just maybe have a little symbiote fatigue. I
do want to see that horse.
I do want to see the horse. Is this the last one? I mean, it's the final dance. So is this the last Tom Hardy Venom?
Could be. And they haven't outright said that, but I feel like some of the stuff I've been reading makes it sound that way.
And is that to make way for, like, the Tom Holland Venom thing?
Hopefully. Wouldn't it be crazy if they allude to some of that in this movie?
Yeah, it would be. I don't know what Sony's doing over there, if this is their final. I feel like Venom's like their most profitable thing besides like Into the Spider-Verse stuff, unless they finally are just like, okay.
It's at least their most watchable thing besides Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm interested to see after the movie than like the movie, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, the next thing on the list here, so the actor Todd Stashwick, who you guys all know from Star Trek Picard, as well as he's been on this podcast several months ago, well, he is going to be showing up at some point in the MCU. It sounds like he's been cast as a villain in the upcoming Vision series on Disney+, and they have not released who, just the fact that he's been cast as a villain. And he's an awesome actor, so I can't wait to see who that's going to be.
Okay.
And we also learned that the Defenders characters from the Netflix series and everything, they are going to be showing back at some point, starting kind of throughout the Daredevil series, which makes sense. But the only catch is the Danny Rand character will be undergoing a lot of significant changes compared to the other characters, which that makes sense.
Good.
Yes.
That he kind of struck out real hard with that one.
Yeah.
Which was weird because at the time it seemed like you weren't missing.
Yeah.
So fix that, please.
Yes, please do. And we know that we're getting a couple of more Avengers movies. We're getting, Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret War. But it sounds like in those movies, we're going to be getting a Council of Reeds, as well as a Doom versus Strange battle at some point. And then obviously a ton of cameos, which makes the most sense. Why wouldn't they have so many cameos in these movies? But we're going to be getting some cool stuff in there.
Yeah, that is cool.
Also, I just read that Tom Holland's Spider-Man movie, it's already undergoing some early filming and stuff, but they recently had a very secret private shooting day that no one was allowed in. We don't even know who was in there filming or anything, but they're filming something secret, and that's kind of cool. I wonder if it's multiversal or not.
I don't know. Well, yeah, because it's still inside the whole Secret Wars thing, so I assume it would be.
Yep. We also just found out that Marvel's going to finally give us an update soon. They didn't say when, but soon, about the Armor Wars and the Blade movies. So before too long, we're going to finally get a few updates on those things.
What is your opinion on the Blade movie at this point?
I still want to see it.
Do you think it's actually a thing?
They did all that stuff with getting a director, losing a director, getting a director, losing a director, and they finally sounded like they locked one in. And as popular as Blade has just become because of Wesley Snipes showing up in Deadpool and Wolverine, I feel like they'd be missing out on not bringing Blade back. So I hope they do.
Yeah, the only thing is, didn't Wesley Snipes also say like there'd only be one Blade?
Yes, and I wonder if that was a twofold joke. One, to make fun of the craziness of the new Blade just keeps not happening. But also, early on in the casting, he made a tweet about that. Oh, there's only one Blade, and there's only ever going to be one Blade.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a joke off of that, but I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. Hopefully that's not the case, and hopefully they don't scrap the Mahershala Ali thing and just get Wesley Snipes to come back as like an older Blade character.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Well, the final thing about Marvel this week, Marvel recently said that the upcoming Nova series on Disney Plus is going to be kind of described as an ensemble piece, meaning lots of characters, with shades of Star Trek and Battlestar. So a Star Trek-esque MCU series with an ensemble cast.
Well, that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense, yeah.
It's Nova Corps. It's a thing, especially if they're going with the writer version.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, over with DC, last week there was all the rumblings that they've offered Josh Brolin the part of Hal Jordan. Well, this week they've added to that saying there's a short list of who might show up as Hal Jordan. And the ones on the list this week are Chris Pine, Timothy Olyphant, Ewan McGregor, and Matthew McConaughey.
Well, not Matthew McConaughey.
My opinion on that whole list, I would go with Chris Pine.
Chris Pine or what was the other name you said?
Timothy Olyphant.
Not that one.
Yeah, he's a great actor, but I just don't see Hal Jordan there.
No.
And you know what? If they go with him and then we watch it, we might be completely blown out of the water. But my money's on Chris Pine. I feel like he would be the best one.
Yeah, Chris Pine works for me.
They also said there are rumors for Jon Stewart and some kind of newer actors named Damson Idris and Aaron Pierre. They're kind of younger guys because they want a younger Jon Stewart. And
yeah,
that's currently being looked at to get someone to play that part.
And we have a Guy Gardner already.
Right? Nathan Fillion.
Which is crazy to me that he's not.
Hal.
Yeah.
He would have been a great Hal.
What if it's a misdirection?
That would be hilarious.
And James Gunn, and then we're cracking up to give him that weird bowl cut and everything. It's like big.
That was only for paparazzi to see, and it's not even real. And then, they go away and he takes the wig off and he's Hal Jordan. Oh, man, that'd be hilarious, actually.
Yeah. I mean, for how long have people wanted him to be Hal Jordan?
Decades.
And on top of that, it seems they want an older Hal Jordan anyway if they offered it to Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
Of all people.
That is a good point.
I don't know, but you never know.
Yeah. Well, the showrunner of the Penguin series just said, despite recent, rumors and stories, that Batman will not be showing up in the Penguin series. And that's a bit of a bummer. And of course, I know they want to focus on their main character, the Penguin, but I want to see Batman.
Is there really people out there who like the Penguin as like a character that much?
Right. I think they're just, in their creative era. They're making all these artistic things about the villains.
Well, I get that. I'm just saying, like, if you are watching Batman the Animated Series as a child, what villains are you excited about to see?
The Joker, Harley, Clayface, Mr. Freeze, maybe even the Riddler, but you're right. I don't know.
Where's Penguin on that list? How
Exactly.
far down do you think on that list? And this is what I'm saying is, like, all of us are like in our 30s. These are the people who are going to movies, watching shows. Like, I don't understand. I mean, I get he was a decent part in the Batman movie.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, and maybe I'm just being a hater, but I just don't find Penguin that great of a character for it to be. I mean, the show could be a fine gangster show or whatever, is what it is. But the same thing with Gotham. I was just like, this character is just not that interesting to me.
Well, speaking of Batman, it sounds like the main antagonists of Batman 2, when it finally comes out, is going to be the Court of Owls. And that makes perfect sense for that whole world they're trying to create.
Yeah.
Keeping away from the fantastical stuff. I could see the Court of Owls pulling off pretty well.
Yeah. Even though they've done Riddler, I would like something more like the Mad Hatter. I don't know, maybe the Joker, since we got to see him at the end of the other one. I don't know.
I was hoping for Clayface, to be honest.
Yeah, didn't they say that at one point?
At one point they did, but it sounds like they're trying to stay away from fantastical was the words they used.
But there's only supposed to be like one more of these movies, right?
Maybe a total of 3, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll see what they do with it. In the Batman world, we know James Gunn likes to hire his friends for stuff. It sounds like Pom Klementieff, who we all know that played Mantis in Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, she's rumored to show up in the DCU at some point as Huntress, Helena Bertinelli version of the Huntress. And I can see that.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Nicholas Hoult, who has been cast as Lex Luthor in the new Superman movie. It's rumored right now that he's going to show up in Peacemaker Season 2 as Lex. So, yeah, that'll be kind of cool to see that connectivity begin to lay some groundwork there.
Yeah. Did the Blue Beetle, is that part of this universe?
Yes, James Gunn has said that it's going to fall into the mix at some point. Now, Superman is going to be the first main story, and it sounds like Blue Beetle comes after Superman from what I read in the past, but supposedly it does count as part of the new DCU.
Okay.
Let's see. Creature Commandos, they finally put out a release date. It's going to be December 5th, and that's going to be fun. I know, it looks so fun. And the final thing about DC is the Joker 2 director says there's not going to be a Joker 3. This movie's going to conclude that story they're trying to tell. So good.
Does that mean, well, I already saw some of the reception from it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I was going to say, I already said it, but.
Yeah.
It'll be one of those people will be like weird sequels, man.
I know. It is going to be kind of weird. Well, over with Star Wars, there's not tons. First, I guess I have to throw out some really sad news we got this week. But the iconic voice of Darth Vader, not only Darth Vader, but Mufasa. And gosh, he was from so many movies. Coming to America. You name it. He was in so many movies. Sandlot. Gosh.
Field of Dreams.
But we lost James Earl Jones this week. He passed away at 93 at his home.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, man, we're getting to that point where all the greats are getting pretty old and they're starting to continue to go to the other side, man. It's getting kind of sad.
Yeah.
But he's going to go down in history as such an icon. And, he sold the rights to his voice before he passed away. So we're going to hear that same Darth Vader voice time and time again, I'm sure, in the decades to come.
Yeah, I had heard that. It was like a year or so ago.
Yep.
Didn't that happen?
Yep.
I remember when that happened and people are like kind of shocked by it. And then in my head, I'm like, yeah, but he basically just set up his family for life.
Oh, yeah.
Like he basically, yeah, that wasn't a personal decision. That was I guess it was a personal decision, but that wasn't for his own benefit.
Yes. His family will never have to worry about much.
Yeah.
Well, the only other Star Wars thing I have is the character Kelnaka from The Acolyte. He was the Jedi Wookiee. Well, last week, issue number 1 of a new Kelnaka comic book series came out. And I haven't checked it out yet, but I really want to. And it sounds pretty good, the synopsis. But just the idea of seeing that Jedi Wookiee in action has me pretty excited, so I'm going to have to go pick it up. But yeah, go check that out, guys. And honestly, there's not a lot more news. There was a few trailers. Anyone excited about the new Wicked movie? It had a brand new trailer come out this week. There's a new trailer for a Minecraft movie. Have you seen that one?
I did. So we both work with and around a lot of teenagers.
Yes.
Who were into Minecraft when it was big. And a lot of them are very upset by this trailer.
I have only been hearing the same thing.
So I think this possibly might be another case of video games aren't movies.
Right?
Unfortunately. What's crazy is that our childhood, they were all bad.
Yes.
So, the fact that they're getting ones that work now here and there kind of has got to be more frustrating because it's taking 3 steps forward and 7 steps backwards.
Yeah.
Watch the Mario movie every day this week, and I'll tell you what, it holds up pretty well.
It does hold up. And a lot of my students, they're high school kids, they don't want to admit it, but a lot of them really like the Sonic movies.
Oh, yeah, that too.
And they're excited about the 3rd one coming out, which actually looks pretty fun, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, dude shaved his head.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because he'll look way more like Dr. Robotnik or Eggman or whatever name you'd like to use.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be a good time. And yeah, then you got Keanu Reeves as the voice of Shadow. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not really a lot of news left this week. That's about it. Locally, keep listening for some updates on BadCon, which is coming October 12th. But yeah, that's really about all the news from this week. So as for us here at the Taylorverse, I've been Billy Taylor.
I'm Taylor Oxner.
And come back next week, guys. Same Taylor time, same Taylor channel.
Bye.
Bye.